Hi, I'm Craig Hamilton Parker, the psychic medium. I make a lot of predictions about all sorts of things using my intuition on this channel. But today I'm going to make some sun sign predictions for the star sign of Cancer. So here are your predictions for 2024. So hi everyone, and thanks for joining me for your sun sign astrology, basically the basic astrology, something simple about your sign for the year ahead. So let's have a look first of all at some of the things that are happening in the sky. First, there's going to be Pluto is moving into Aquarius. Now, Pluto is is the furthest out of the planet, so it moves very, very slowly, and it's moving into Aquarius from January the 20th until September the 1st, and then it's coming out of it for a while and back in again from November the 19th right through to March 2043. And Pluto deals with lots of the things evolved with society at large and ages, as it were, the sort of eras we're entering. So Pluto entering Aquarius is a pretty good thing. We're going to have it there for the next 19 years. So this is good news for everybody, really, and good news for society generally and the world at large. It brings Pluto in Aquarius brings innovation of new ideas. It brings new opportunities, new inspiration, and hopefully some better human values. So with all the troubles we're getting in the world, it's an optimistic thing to have Pluto moving into Aquarius. This should open up lots of new beginnings, lots of new starts for us. There's going to be a number of eclipses in 2024, of course, and these are also give energy to the periods when there's an eclipse. And eclipses bring sort of transformation. Eclipses empower. They clear out the old and they bring in the new. So one of the most significant is going to be around September time, when there'll be an eclipse in the sign of Pisces. And this is positive news. And it's positive news again for the world because it can bring things like new inventions and new discoveries, medical discoveries and things like that. So that will be hopefully something good for the news for the world ahead. There's going to be the main eclipses are going to be Libra is going to have a full moon lunar eclipse on the 25th of March. Aries has a new moon solar eclipse on the 8th of April. Pisces, the full moon lunar eclipse on the 17th of September. And Libra's new moon solar eclipse on the 2nd of October. So the eclipses, so we get things like, you consider these dates as new starts, new ventures, times, any of those dates are good times to make changes. A lot of astrologers believe that solar eclipses are all about new beginnings, and lunar eclipses are clearing out the old. So those are the points of changing points in the times around ahead. Jupiter conjunct Venus in Taurus on the April the 20th, 2024. This happens around every 14 years because this is again the slow moving planets outside of the asteroid belt. This doesn't happen very often, but Jupiter in astrology is always a good sign, a planet of expansion. It magnifies anything. It brings good fortune. It's jovial. It's a positive. It brings prosperity, opportunity, optimism, hope, and more meaning to life as well. So we have Jupiter conjunct Uranus and Taurus on the 20th of April. That's another good energetic time for people. Lots of good things happening with Jupiter this year, particularly as its influence in Aquarius. And Uranus, of course, is the planet of change. It's also a planet of concerned with social awareness and evolution of humanity and things like this. It usually sits it's good in the sign of Aquarius again. So all this is quite positive news for the world ahead. Perhaps are going to be an energetic time for most of us. Actually, it collectively invites a kind of a new wave of thoughts of liberation, thoughts of freedom are going to be very important this year ahead in terms of the planets. Lots of changes, many elections happening around the world. These are all in my predictions, of course, but there's lots happening with that. So lots of changes, and often changes for the good, the way things are looking. Jupiter is going to be in Gemini on May 25th, right through to June the 9th. 2025. And this is a planet that can bring good luck, and good fortune and abundance again. And it brings opportunities wherever it travels, and particularly when in Gemini. So all of these things are happening in the stars. These are all things that will influence all the signs. But now let's have a look at your individual sign. So Cancerians, you've had quite a difficult time through 2023. Many of you might have had breakups in relationships and quite a difficult emotional time, been a bit of a roller coaster for you. And it doesn't settle immediately in 2024, but this should be a period of much more ease for you. Got good influence of Jupiter in the 12th house, which will help perhaps you to get over some of the nostalgia of looking back, make you much more optimistic about looking forward in life, and particularly in the spring and early summer, this is a time when you start to find you unlock a lot of your potential, and particularly a lot of your emotional potential. You've been a 15-year period actually of quite difficulties surrounding the sign of Cancer. You should get a big break from January the 21st, which is also a well-starred time for you around that period, and particularly on that day. So there may be some difficulties still left with relationships, but it's definitely a time of hope for the period ahead, and a period when you should start to look towards finding a lot more longer term emotional stability in your life. So the worst is behind you, put it that way. Money should flow quite well through the year. Money and investments, any particularly investments are very good. Commissions too. You should be able to get some things with this, and anything, those of you that are very creative minded might even be able to sell some of your work. It's well starred for all things to do with creative things, you know, and this can be helpful. Might be maybe you're selling something extra on the side to your job or something like that, something that revolves creativity. So opportunities possibly for new careers in creative world for you too. There's been a lot of tendency to look back, to look to childhood pains and things like that. But this should be a year when you're starting to look a lot more forward and more security in relationships, much deeper with relationships during this period of time. It's important also in this period to speak out, and sometimes you can be moody, you're not that agreeable. You need to start to trust people a little bit more, and this will begin to happen through 2024. You'll also feel a lot more healthy during this period as the pressure begins to ease off of some of the stress that's been around you with relationships. You've got Pluto in your 8th house, which is very points to a lot more longer term things, and it can point to settling down. You will feel more settled in yourself. Particularly good big developments around the summer period, and you've got 2 Capricorn full moons, which will be very good as they go into your 7th house of relationships on the 21st of June and July 21st. So those are good periods. It seems to be all 21s with you, but this is a good period when you should feel more settled. Gradually your emotions will start to settle down. It's been a very period of turmoil that you've had, particularly this time you're watching this as we're moving into the Christmas period, but you are beginning to get that feeling that things are starting to look better. You're beginning to feel a lot more self-assured in yourself. You know in your heart that things can work out, and 2024, particularly as we go into middle of 2024, the summer and into autumn months, you'll feel much more at ease, particularly in your emotional life. And once that's happened, it'll make all your material life and your job prospects and work you do, and even the boring routines become less tiresome, because you feel much more optimistic in yourself. Well, I hope you enjoyed your sun sign astrology, as we call it. And of course, as you know, it can only be kind of quite simple, really. It will only cover the very basics of a star sign, but hopefully gain something from that and get a bit of an idea of the year ahead for 2024. But I want to tell you about something that's really, really fascinating, which is called the NAADI oracles. And now, some of you would have read about this in my books already and already explored this, but there's a system in India that goes back thousands and thousands of years, in which there was what's called the ancient rishis. Now, these were kind of like astrologers, but they were seers. And they could foresee the future of any person that would ever come and call upon those rishis, as it were. And they wrote it all down on palm leaves, which are like an Indian book made out of wood. Like, it looks like a sort of like rulers, with it all written down in ancient Tamil language. And they wrote down the future of anybody that consults them. I consulted them, and it completely blew my mind. It tells you all about your life in total detail, even giving the name of your parents and the date and time of your birth. And even if you don't know the time of your birth, it will give it to you, and it will know your name, even if you don't give your name or anything like that. It's absolutely remarkable. Now, I was one of the first kind of modern YouTubers, or people in the West generally, to first start really exploring these ancient NAADI leaves. And now they've become available to anybody that wants to consult them. And it's very, very hard to get a proper NAADI reading. It's very, very hard to find this ancient wisdom source. There's NAADI readers out there that are complete fakes. And the good ones are now so booked up, they're now booked up years in advance. Now, where I've been working with the NAADI readers, they have agreed that the readings that come through me are given top priority. They jump the queue. So instead of having to wait years, you can wait just a few months to get your NAADI readings. Now, this may change. So if you want a NAADI reading through me, and a lot of you know about this already who follow the channels, if you want a NAADI reading from me, now is the time, because this window might close. So have a look in the description below. And what you're going to need to do is go to the link in the description below and then send me an email through the form on the site. Just the contact form on the site. And just say, Craig, I'd like to get a NAADI reading. Can you put me in touch with them, or something like that? Just so I know what it's about. And then I'll copy you in and send and forward your emails to the NAADI readers so that you get prioritized on getting a NAADI reading. There's a little bit on the page that explains what it is. But you really also, if you're going to do this, this is not like your normal astrology by any means whatsoever. It's a very, very powerful thing that can be very transformative in your life. I'm not just going to flog you the book. I would like you to read the book if you do go into it. So have a look at my book, Messages from the Universe, in which I talk about what happens, how it happened to me, how I checked it all out for frauds and all the rest of it. And it just gives you some idea about what it's all about. I've also produced a film about it on Amazon Prime, which you can go and watch for free if you're an Amazon Prime member, called Mystic Journey to India. I had to think for a minute there, and you can learn about it as well. But if you want to know about the sort of astrology that'll leave you sort of mind boggled, then this is your chance. So have a look in the description below. Like I say, this window will not be open for long. This is probably going to be one of your last chances to get a NAADI reading. So if you're thinking about doing it, now's your time. Get in touch with me, guys, and I'll forward it through to you. Like they say, very few people can get their NAADIs. That's why the door is closing, because so many have come to it, and there's only a few readers that are really, truly out there that can do this. There's lots that claim they can. There's only very, very, very few. They're so rare. As you're reading the book, if you've done do the research. Okay, there we go. I'm not doing that just as an ad. I know that many of you are very interested in this. So, okay, thanks for joining me. And like I say, have a look at the description below. Don't forget to give me a like and give me a thumbs up, because that helps these videos to reach out further. And don't forget to follow my channel. And thanks for everything, for all your support, you guys, for all your support through 2023. And I think for a minute I've been saying 2024 all the time. All your thought and all your lovely comments and all those that have been patrons that have helped the site. Thank you, guys. And we wish you a happy new year for all of you. Okay, see you soon. Bye for now.